What's happening, traders? Welcome back to the next part of the My Forex Funds Challenge. This is later in the day from the last video. We're just looking at Euro GBP. We've got a nice area lining up, so let's have a look. Okay, jumping onto the charts, we're on Euro GBP and we have a nice area lining up. So we've got looking at a demand zone. Now if I go to the 30-minute chart, this is where I identified the zone originally. Now I've got a lot of stuff on the screen and I'll explain it in a sec. Let me just get rid of the Asia session because that will also just help with clarity. So what we have is a demand zone on the 30-minute chart. Price is pushed up from this zone dramatically. Okay, we've got this beautiful straight line up. Price has slowly made its way back down into the zone. This area is also a base. So we've got a rally, a base, and then another rally. This leg of the rally has broken structure to the left here, as you can see. Okay, we've broken above these highs, making a new high. And also we have a very high volume zone. Now even if I pull this down to here, this will still be the point of control. As you can see, this high volume cluster. I don't use this tool very often, but it is a helpful tool, and I might make a video on it in the future. It's a useful tool, and it just basically shows you, pinpoints exactly where you want to find the highest volume zones, and they have a impact on the charts, right, on price. The other thing is also, you can see here, I've got the Fibonacci drawn in, and this sits beautifully below the 50% mark of this whole move, which is a discounted zone, which is a higher probability area to find demand zones or supply zones if you're going the other way. So what I did is the usual thing, I'll get rid of this now, is I went down to the lower time frames, okay, the 1 minute chart specifically, and we looked for our fair value gaps. So we have one right here, this big one here, which hasn't been filled yet, and price is just coming to the top of it now. We've just entered it there. And then other than that, the only one we had elsewhere was this one here, but that's already been taken out by this wick down here. So this one is now irrelevant to price currently. And then below that, we don't actually have any on the 1 minute chart, which is nice to see. Okay, so this actually got taken, this one got taken out by this wick down, and then below that on the lower time frames, we don't have any. So I'm not worried about any down there. So that is a good sign. Going back to the 5 minute chart, which is going to be our entry, okay, we're going to look for price to come into the zone, okay, take out that full fair value gap. So I've got an alert set just at the bottom there, and then we're going to look for our our turning point candle, which is either going to be on the 5 or the 15 minute. Now because it's a 30-minute zone, sometimes I like to take it on a higher time frame, the entry, but usually we'll still stick to the 5 minute. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this, have a watch, and see what happens, and then we'll come back if we enter a trade or not. Basically, also, just a quick one, if this goes down and closes below the 0.618, and the candle closes below there, then I probably won't trade this area. But I think we're going to be looking pretty good. If we go to the higher time frames, just quickly, we have had a big rejection off. So the only thing that is interesting is this certainly looks like we could continue to the downside. Oh, we just had a big push there. So what time is it? It's currently 12:20. Okay. Nothing really is going to happen New York wise until 1:30, and we don't have any news coming out yet. So all we got to do now is wait and see. I like the fact we've pushed deep into the zone. Now if we can just push back up, remember we're only going to be looking for a 1-to-1. So currently we'd need the next candle to break this candle's high. Stop loss will go below here, and then we're going to go for a 1-to-1 there. Okay, so we're not looking for a huge amount at all. Obviously we want the runner to run, but that's what we're looking for our initial first TP. So let's see how it goes, and I'll come back in a minute. So that candle now has just closed, and it's closed quite deep into the zone. We're going to see what the next one does. For an entry, we'd have to see this candle break this candle's high and go back above the 50% Fibonacci range, or level, sorry. If this flips bearish and then closes down below here, then that could also be a sign of a no trade for us, and price is going to continue down, because as we look on the 1 hour, the 1 hour does look, the 4 hour does look incredibly bearish with these wicks up, respecting this candle's high, and we've just broken that 4 hour candle's low there. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Of course, we've still got 1 hour and 34 minutes left on this candle, so it could flip bullish again from this point, but let's see. Yep, got to be patient, and we'll see what happens. I think, guys, so price has pushed down, and we actually closed below the zone there, as you can see. Now I just want to go to the higher time frames just to have a look at what's going on. So it's at the moment it's not looking that promising for us or what we like to trade. The fact that we've closed below the zone now is not always my favorite thing, as I said before. But we can see that price is stalling, and potentially what's happened is we've taken liquidity off the bottom of these equal lows here, okay, and we've come down to this area, which then could create a reversal. We are due a pullback, as you can see, this huge move. So let's see. I'm going to let this one run a little bit and see what happens. If we do take a trade, I may take a trade which is got a lower risk. So not our full size of trying to risk $25 to $30. We might just risk sort of like $15 on this trade, potentially. But we're just going to see how it goes and come back in a minute. Okay, guys, we've been patiently waiting for something to happen. We have technically got an entry here. Now, if we go to the 30-minute chart, we can see we had a push down, a bit of a liquidity grab off the bottom of these lows here. And we just had a 5-minute candle break the 5-minute candle's high here. Now, if I were to enter this, this would be going against my rules because this is my zone, not down here. Now, some people may take this buy. I am dubious, and I'm not sure that I'm going to, so I think I'm going to leave it. If I were to take the buy, it would be a very low risk trade. We could potentially go for a 1.8 pip potential, but I just don't know. Earlier when I said there was no fair value gaps, I don't know why I said that. I think I was looking at potentially somewhere else because there was one here and there was one down here as well. Do you know what? We're going to go for a small, for video purposes, we're going to go for a small trade here, and I'm going to go for a 15 cents buy. Wait, let me just check this before, as long as it doesn't peace out. 1.8, not 15 cents, what am I talking about? 16, we're going to go for the 75 cents buy here, because if we go for stop loss below here, 1.8, oh there we go, bit of volume coming in. First TP is here, runner up to what is now a new supply zone up here. So I'm just going to get this drawn in. Quickly. It's going to be 86808. There we go. Okay, so we're taking the trade. And the reason why is because it is a really strong area, high volume area. We just had a bit of a liquidity grab off the bottom of these lows. I think that we came down here to take out liquidity off of these equal lows. And I feel that we could potentially push up now. Now, all we need to do is get up to our first TP here, which isn't far at all. And we are due a pullback. Look at this straight line down. It's just been relentless. You know, when these sorts of things happen, we do get a pullback. Even if it's just a small one like this, this is enough to take a profit from. So, I'm going to stay patient here and see what we get. If not, we're only going to lose around $16, which is not too bad. Maybe a little bit more of the spread, but hey, let's see what goes, and we'll come back in a minute. Guys, I've done it. I've only gone and just not recorded that last bit. Basically, we hit our first TP. I just had a filmed whole bit. We've currently got a runner going. I'll put that on the screen right now. 56 cents currently in profit. Basically, we did enter the trade as you saw, and then I was filming the journey of it. We hit our first TP. Okay, as you see here, we took 80%, and that left us with $9.72 profit. Okay, I took out 60 cents of the 75-cent lot. We then have 15 cents running for a potential break-even trade. We are currently at zero. Okay, just been stopped out for break-even, and you can see that on the trade as well, literally live. Bit of a pain. I didn't mean to do that, obviously. I went back and I was like, clicked stop recording and it started recording, so that's always good fun. Now obviously this could potentially push up to our first push up to our final TP here, but we got stopped out for break even, and that is our risk management plan. So there we go, a successful trade, one that we weren't too happy about, but basically what happened is we took the liquidity off of these lows here. We had a liquidity grab below here, and then price came up. We broke that candle's high, and we've had that pullback, which was expected after such a straight line move down. So there we have it. This is now a new supply zone, which could potentially be marked up and used as a potential area for another trade later on. We don't actually have any fair value gaps in there, but there we go. So another successful trade. We are now haven't had a loser yet, which is obviously fantastic. This was a bit more of a higher risk trade, and yeah, I think that price will potentially continue down to the downside now. But we got what we wanted. We managed to grab $10 extra profit on our challenge, and we're on the way to that first phase 1. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And thanks for the support. It's been amazing. Go check out the vlogs on the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.